What's up, guys? This is AJ Hall from Left Field Drum Breaks, and today I'm going to show you how to get your bass lines sounding real fat and funky like this. Yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so those big, fat, like knots and Dilla style bass lines, they're always fun for me to put in my beats. I really love it's like a major tool I use in all my beats, and they sound really great over drum breaks. I'm actually using one of my own drum breaks today from Left Field Drum Breaks Volume 4. It's a batch of requests that I did for the public, right? So I'm using one of my breaks from there. Check me out, man. Let's get into it. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how the sound, I'm going to show you what the sound sounds like, the finished product first, all right? All right, so what I did, and you can pretty much do this in any DAW, although I'm doing it in Machine. The real process is really just about stacking distortion on top of filter, on top of distortion, on top of filter, right? It's doable in any DAW, right? So what I do is I start with a stock sound in Machine. It's called Adrenaline. There's a wave file that comes with Machine called Adrenaline. You can do this with any 808 or any just P-bass like one-shot stab, right? You load it in, you put it in your key, and you set the release time to as short as you can possibly have it without the audio clipping at the end, right? So if I have the release all the way down, it's going to clip at the end, right? We don't want that. We want to turn that release up just a little bit to where it doesn't clip at the end, but we still want the actual like decay of it to be non-existent, right? Just about right there. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do now that we have the sample queued up and ready, I'm going to add some distortion on it, right? Just the stock plug-in distortion, Native Instruments and Machine. You can do this with any Waves plugins. You can do it with guitar pedal plugins if you want to. It doesn't matter. As long as you get the low end to be crazy distorted, it's going to sound ridiculous at first, but then you put a filter on it and you repeat that process until you get the sound you want, all right? So distortion is on. Sounds a little bit ridiculous, right? I'm going to add the focus a little bit better. I'm going to add the definition all the way up. Now it's sounding real good. It's loud as hell, but sounding good. So the next thing we're going to do is add a filter afterwards. Ready? So just get a little bit of that low pass filter popping. Let me play you the A-B. This is before those two effects. This is now with distortion and a little bit of that low pass filter. So it's already a little bit more aggressive, right? So then maybe afterwards, after those two plugins, you can add just a saturator, something else that's going to add a whole lot of boost and a lot of overdrive to it. The stock saturator in Machine works really well. That's nice, all right? Again, I've turned 3 knobs so far, all right? Add another filter after that just to control it a little bit. Turn the resonance down a little bit. There we go. All right. Maybe one more distortion afterwards, and then another filter, and then the last 2 plugins, all right? Turn the focus all the way up, and the definition all the way up. Yeah, that ought to do it. All right. Just a little bit of another low pass filter. Now, the finishing touch is going to be your transient master, right? Turn the attack pretty high on the transient master. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the transient master before that last filter. Yes, sir. All right, now, finishing touch is the limiter so it doesn't get too crazy. Pull that threshold up a little bit too. Obviously, you're going to have to adjust the volume as you're going because it's going to get real loud, and then the filter's going to back it off. It's going to get real loud again with more distortion. Another filter's going to back it off. And you just kind of repeat this process. Sometimes, depending on the sample that you're using, you only have to do distortion into filter once. But with this kind of sample, it's kind of like an 808 sample. So you have to kind of create that attack. If you get a P-bass sample, like a one-shot stab, you have a lot easier time doing it. I just want to show y'all how easy it is with a stock sound that you can find in almost any DAW. It's a regular 808 stab, right? So turn that up. I'm gonna let the limiter let it through a little bit. All right, now it comes to actually laying the bass line down. Hopefully you have something where you can actually play in a key. If not, grab your keyboard, figure out what key you're in. Minor pentatonic scale, it's not that hard, all right? So I'm gonna play the drum groove from Left Field Drum Breaks Volume 4 requests, all right? Check it out. Right? So what I wanna do is accentuate that kick drum pattern. Boom, boom, cat, boom, boom, cat. Boom, boom, gab, you know what I mean? Or boom, boom, gab, bum, bum, something like that. And I'm going to lay down the bass line, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks after you've figured out your real notes that you're playing, all right? 1, 2, 3, and... Turn that down. Let me turn that down. It's hot. Woo! All right, here we go. So you notice what I'm doing is I'm really being lax with the rhythm. I'm not going boom, boom, ba, 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 ba. You know what I mean? I'm going boom, boom, ba, boom, ba. And when you get that attack and the release way, way, way down, real sharp, you can get what's called ghost notes. Ghost notes on a bass. We as bass players do it all the time, right? But you can actually replicate that effect on some digital processing, all right? So check it out. Here's some ghost notes that I'm going to add in. It's basically where you're barely tapping the pad, so just a little bit of low end comes out, but it's not an actual note. And the higher up you go, the more punchier it is, all right? So here we go. You see what I mean with that ghost note? If you get that release dialed back enough, you can start getting real funky. Let me do a couple different patterns. Let's see what we got. Easy as pie, man. Bass lines. Once again, folks, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, or if you're watching this on Instagram, follow me on YouTube. And we got more gems coming up, man. Once again, I was using a drum break from my own sample pack. That's Left Field Drum Breaks Volume 4. And those are all available on ajhallmusic.com, or you can hit the link in my Instagram bio or at the link at the bottom of this video. All right? Peace.